Hi guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Jazz. Now today we're going to talk about a question that we get quite often. How do you add expressions into your Bollywood dancing or dance in general? So I'm going to give you some tips on how to do this. You can do this, especially if you consider yourself a little bit more of a beginner. When I say beginner, I mean that in the sense that you are very new to a dance class setting. You haven't been into too many dance classes. You're not 100% well versed with dancing, or kind of feel confident in that. Not really about how well versed you are. I think how confident you feel when you learn a particular routine. So if you feel a little bit unsure, so these tips are going to be for you. Okay. So if you're feeling a little bit unsure, main thing when you're learning your dance is of course to learn and master the movements. So you're learning the steps, you kind of learning that motion. Once you've done that, you layer the next level. So what I mean by this is, as we are learning, we are processing movement. We are thinking about right hand, left leg, left hand, right leg, turn, count 2 times, 4 times. So we're kind of going through that analytical process in our brain and connecting the dots. Once we've kind of covered that as a beginner, then we layer, which means we move into the next layer of what else can we do now, right? Repetition. That is the next thing. So the next thing is really getting those steps kind of set in muscle memory. That way then you don't have to think actively on what step is coming. And I think this is a really important tip, because oftentimes we're so focused on what's the next step, but actually we must trust our bodies. We must trust that the body now knows. And sometimes as adults, especially, I'm guilty of this too, we think too much, especially kids. Why can they follow things so quickly? The main reason is because they don't think as much. They just follow, and they flow with their bodies. So it's a good reminder. So as a beginner, don't take yourself too hard, don't be too difficult. Now to be able to then add layers, right, and the last or the kind of finale layer, especially as a beginner, would be the expression. So once your body knows what it's doing, now we kind of have to work on what's the face doing. Do we understand the song? Do we know what it's emoting? What is the genre of that song? Is it more of an upbeat masala song? Is it naughty? Is it sensual? Is it soft? Is it graceful? Is it emoting? Is it sad? What is the emotion of that song? What is the choreography? If you don't know and you can't work it out, just ask your teacher. Ask, what does this mean? What am I doing here, right? So once that kind of comes together and you feel the song more than you're thinking about the song, that will definitely help. Now these tips are for beginners, right? So people who are very new to the dance scene, maybe new in a dance studio, so on and so forth. Now if you consider yourself as maybe a little bit more advanced or intermediate from that, or you're more of a seasoned dancer per se, now this set of tips are more for you. So you might be a little bit more accustomed to learning choreographies. You might pick up choreographies really quickly, but then not really working on the face again, because oftentimes as beginners we leave the face to the last. And sometimes I think that it may not be the best way forward, but being mindful of that at the start, that we want to be able to emote, I think is very, very important. So, which then brings me to the next. So let's just say we're in an intermediate or more seasoned dancer. So I would recommend, as a more seasoned dancer, to be able to engage more things, which means as you're learning the steps, you're also adding expressions. You're watching your teacher more. Not only just the movements of what they're doing, but ask them to say, you know, hey, coach, teacher, whatever that you might call them. How are you doing this step? What's the emotion for this step? Maybe ask them those questions. Can you show me? Can I see what it looks like? So that you can actually watch that. Another thing to do is, of course, get your teacher and film your teacher. So once she's playing the song and she's actually performing the song for you, you're able to catch and to pick up what are the movements that, and what are the emotions behind the movements, essentially. So as a more seasoned dancer, to be able to add the layers on quicker, we need to be able to do this simultaneously, because now we're quicker with movements. Our body kind of understands how to move, so to speak. So we can kind of add layers quicker than before. So you don't wait until the fourth class or later on in the choreography, or only when you need to perform it, because your face is full of muscles. The same way how we're training our bodies, our face is also full of muscles. So reminding your face to lighten, to smile, or to emote, or to wink, whatever that it might be. All of those things need to be done as a seasoned dancer together. So those are some tips for you, whether you may be someone who's very new to dance. I don't want to overwhelm you essentially, so we learn step by step, but trying to be able to, when you get a little bit more comfortable and you kind of get into the more seasoned dancer, we already start to layer on a quicker basis, essentially. So those are some tips for you. I hope you found that useful, and I hope you are emoting and expressing in all of your dances moving forward. See you in the next one.